Welcome everyone to day 2. I hope you had such a great time yesterday. At day 1, we had the concert, we had the keynotes. The concert for me was one of the highlights of the whole event, so I'm really, really happy there. Super excited about the donation that we got to give, and for the thank you to everyone who helped contribute to that. That's just going to be awesome. Today, we're going to hear from Sudhir and a bunch of other people as we expand on everything that was announced yesterday. And I want to thank everybody that participated in the demo that we're going to do. It's a great, fun thing. And there's lots and lots of people. We brought in a whole bunch of people that participated in the building of this stuff, in addition to the presenting of it today. One quick reminder, stick around after we're done here for the live Q&A. And with that, I want to say hello, Sudhir.
Hey, Benny.
How are you? What are you excited about today? How was yesterday?
Oh, I loved yesterday. You know, the stuff, not only was the highlight for me talking to Jay from SAP, who's doing amazing work with our product, but then listening in on some of the sessions and then the concert at the end of the day, I was energized. I hope everyone here is energized too, and I hope you're all ready to go.
Yes.
Awesome.
Why don't you jump into it?
All right, so here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to first spend a few minutes just briefly talking about all the cool features and functionality we delivered to all of you all, hopefully adding a bunch of value over the last 12 months since last ChefConf. And then we're going to go into that awesome demo that Benny talked about. And I'll tee that up a little bit, and then we'll do the demo, and I'll come back and talk about it a little bit more. And then we're going to have our star product management team come on board and talk to us about all the awesomeness they're cooking up for the next several months and for the next year. So that's the plan for now. I'll start with going over our development priorities again. As you saw some of this yesterday, you'll see this reiterated here. The 3 big things we're working on is security and compliance, unified experience, and ease of adoption for us, for our customers. And thinking back to ChefConf last year, what we announced then and what we've been doing since then is this whole notion of workload aligned offerings, where you have a workload to get done and we provide all the things, software, content, support, everything else we need, you need to make that successful. And that's the theme that we've been working on. And you'll see that these actually add up to that. What we have delivered in the security and compliance side of things is policy as code is a huge part of what we do. And policy as code is really, whether you're talking about compliance policies or you're talking about infrastructure policies and desired state and where you want to be on infrastructure, all of that, being able to encode that into code and then being able to run that in your tool of whether it's Inspec or whether it's Chef. Not only that, but what we're also doing is bringing Inspec and Chef much closer together as a portfolio element, as a way to run things, thereby making your detect, correct, automate, all of that way easier, not only in the feature set, but also in integrating with your CI and CD pipelines and all of that. We also added this awesome feature in Inspec called Waivers, where you have a compliance requirement, but for some reason, for whatever reason, you're not able to stick to that or comply to that for the next 6 months, maybe because your vendor isn't supporting the particular thing that you need upgraded, etc. For that, you can just enter a waiver into the system and say, hey, I'm going to get a waiver for this for 6 months. And after that, it'll expire and I'll need to comply with it. And you're able to actually do that in the system and go forward with that. And of course, we continue to keep adding new compliance profiles and new cloud resource packs, etc., into the mix, so that you're always current and you always have the latest things that you need, as well as expanding the portfolio for compliance content. And our reporting CLI, we've enhanced that so that you can get output from your command line interface itself and look at all the reports coming out of the system and what you can do there. So to summarize, what we're doing here is really bringing Inspec, Chef Infra, all of those together into a much more closer and closely knit set of tools that you can then use to accomplish the things that you need to. Next, in terms of unified experience, I want to reiterate here our notion of the EAS stack, the enterprise automation stack, which consists of all the tools that you use in Spec and Chef and Habitat and everything, but also Automate as the control plane that brings all of the data from these various tools into your observability layer, into your control layer. And when we talk about data feed in a minute, you'll talk about how we access data in there as well. So in that Automate becomes our control plane and where everything comes together for our customers. Now, in order to do that, we've done a bunch of things, including a consistent deployment experience. So in the past, you would have noticed that we had Automate, we had Chef Server, all separate installed, separate things. Now we brought them together into one single deployment experience and one single set of infrastructure you have to manage. Not only that, but role-based access control was added, right? When you have all of these organizations from Chef Server and all of these various compliance views that you want to look at and infrastructure views that you want to look at in Automate, you also want to have a robust access control system in place, and that's what we delivered there. And platform support for OHI, we continue to enhance that. We continue to add more platforms as they become relevant. Okay, so we added the native support for Apple M1, the Silicon, Apple Silicon as it's called, that came out earlier in the year, and we continue to do things in that area. We also put in mutual TLS between the Chef server and Chef client so that that communication becomes more robust and more secure. And we also added this very, very important feature that we'll continue to enhance over time. Data feed is this important feature where a lot of the data that comes into the Chef infrastructure and comes in from Chef Infra and Chef Compliance into Automate can then be used outside in your Splunk or in your Kibana dashboards or any external things that you want to do with our data and integrate with that. Finally, on the ease of adoption and easy to use side, robust library of certified compliance content. Last year at ChefConf, I talked about, if you look at the session I did there, I talked about these performance improvements that the team has been working on in terms of hundreds of % of performance that we've been improving on the Chef client, on compliance, on all of these, and we continue on that journey. We want to make that faster and faster so that your times to get infrastructure and compliance in place is fast. We also did infrastructure management dashboards. And what this is paving the path for customers who are on our legacy software platform, such as Chef Manage, to be able to come on board to automate. So we're building a lot of the relevant views from what you're used to in using Manage in Automate so that over the next quarters and next year, you can migrate to Chef Automate from that infrastructure. We also introduced a notifications feature in Habitat Builder, and I announced in yesterday's keynote the availability of the Chef infrastructure on AWS and Azure marketplaces as a BYOL for now, but more to come on that. And Nischal later is going to talk about that a lot more. Okay, to summarize, what we are doing is in the 3 areas of security and compliance, unified experience, and easy to adopt. And here I want to call out all of the Chef employees, old chefs, new chefs, as I talked about, our community members, our customers, everyone who's contributed into making this successful, even through the acquisition and all of the things that involves. The team stayed focused on making sure that we deliver customer value and we make life easy for our practitioners. So kudos to everyone. I tip my hat to all of the teams, and by that I mean the entire extended team of chefs that have made that happen. Now I want to transition. All of these features are not built in isolation of each other. They may look like a list of features, but really they are all being built with the higher goal of making that entire DevOps and DevSecOps experience really seamless and smooth. So imagine a world where a lot of the policies, whether infrastructure or compliance policies, are written in, a lot of customers just write them on wiki pages or in PDFs, and they have governance, risk, and compliance systems in place where they just write these in spoken English in a lot of cases. You take those, and how do you encode that easily and fast into something that is machine understandable and can be automated? And how do you then take that entire experience, run it in a very regular fashion on your systems, and take the output from that and send it to your compliance auditors and send it to other folks outside, and then bring all of that together? Now, typically, what I just explained is the scenario that our customers and a large set of organizations go through, and it takes months to make that happen. It literally takes 6-8 months for that cycle to come together and things. But what Chef is here to do, and what we have been doing, is making that a very simple experience, very fast, going from months to days, if not hours of work that somebody needs to do to make that happen. To that end, what you're going to see now is this awesome demo that Benny referred to earlier that we put together so that you can see all of these come together and make your DevSecOps a very fast, easy, enjoyable experience for you to go through. And I want to hand off to our demo team at this point to talk about or walk us through the demo.
Hi, I'm Kimberly. I manage the Chef documentation team, and I'll be playing the boss, Anita.
Hi, I'm Kaya. I'm a developer advocate here at Chef, and I'll be playing the DevOps engineer, Sasha.
We're going to show you some real-life scenarios that explain how Chef can help you better manage, secure, and fix your systems. We also show off some new and improved Chef features. Hey, Sasha. The security team just asked us for an audit report of our e-commerce platform. It'll have to include Linux and everything else.
Okay, sure. We'll need to audit our RHEL and Windows systems. Did they provide the standard that they're looking for?
Yes. They're looking for CIS Level 1 with some exceptions. We'll need to audit our on-prem and cloud environments.
Okay, great. I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but our past audits have taken months.
I know, but they need it by the end of next week.
End of next week? How am I going to pull that off? Like any typical DevOps engineer, there's more to do than time to do it in. Here, Sasha Googles a solution, discovers Chef, and installs Chef Workstation on her machine. As she explores Chef Automate, she finds that she needs among the hundreds of newly added and existing built-in Chef compliance profiles. Now, how do I run this on my system? Do they have profiles for the CIS standards I need? Let's see if they have something out of the box. Oh, it looks like they have pre-built remediation. Let's give those a try in a dev environment. Now, Sasha goes through the steps of creating a Chef Automate scan job using an available CIS Level 1 profile. When it's done, she can see the compliance errors. To fix them, she uses a Chef remediation cookbook from Chef's robust library of certified compliance content and takes every advantage of new Chef Inspect waivers. Thanks to performance improvements, the results can be seen quickly in newly enhanced CLI reporting and Automate infrastructure management dashboards. When the scan is done, Sasha exports a report to share. Check out this report.
Wow, the security team is going to be really impressed.
I used tools from Chef and their pre-built content to get this done quickly.
That's awesome. Pavlo and his security team have a long-standing project to patch OpenSSH. Do you think you could help them? That thing is a real ticking time bomb.
So I suppose we can give policy as code a try.
Great! I'll send you the details.
Here we go again.
Sasha needs not only to ensure OpenSSH is up to date on all our Linux systems, but also needs to look for patched versions on legacy systems. She uses Chef Profile as code for consistent deployment experience and makes sure the proper versions are installed. She sets attributes to enable real-time reporting and executes Chef Client on her target systems before exporting scan job results from the Automate dashboard that she can share with her boss and Pavlo's security team.
This is so simple. I better make sure this goes through a change request before rolling it out. Modern workflows require integration with tools like ServiceNow. Here, Sasha discovers Chef Automate has seamless integration available. She sets up incident and data feed connections to do the incident reporting and performs a pull request to update her GitHub code. This enables everyone to see and act on incidents in ServiceNow. When she's done, she generates a new report to share. Oh, wow. I can connect this directly to our ServiceNow system. Sweet. Just need to set my attributes accordingly. Done. I got those systems up to date with the latest. Check out this report.
You got all those systems fixed already? Thanks, Sasha. Great work. Maybe you could help get the cloud infrastructure team onboarded too.
I think I'm getting a hang of all of this. I'll give it a go.
Chef Automate has simple integration with AWS, Azure, and other cloud providers, so Sasha can connect those accounts and give team members access to their systems with Automate's improved role-based access controls. She tests it all by running a fresh scan job on Red Hat instances in AWS, then exports a report to share with her boss.
It looks like I just need to connect my Automate instance with a read-only user from our cloud systems. I think I can do that pretty quickly. Here you go.
Wow, Sasha, you've done an amazing amount of critical work in a short period of time. Thanks to you and Chef, our systems are up to date and secure.
Wow. I hope you're as excited about that demo as I am, and you saw all the things that are enabled by the portfolio and are enabled by the kit that we've built. And I continue to be energized by all the things that we're doing to make the DevOps journey easier. Now with that was all the stuff we did last year and all the stuff that's enabled now, right? I want to call on our awesome product management team at this point to come in and talk to us about how we're going to continue this journey and how we're going to make life even better and what we're thinking about in the next few quarters and months. So I want to bring on stage Prashanth Nanjundappa, who's my partner in crime. He's on the product management side of this, and he's going to lead us through what we're going to do on the roadmap. Thank you. Prashanth, it's all yours.
Thanks, Sudhir, for the introduction. Also, the great overview of what are the benefits that are available for our customers and community. Hello, everyone. It's great to be on ChefConf. This is my first ChefConf, and I'm super excited to talk to all of you about it. Also, this marks almost a year for me with Chef, and what a great year it has been. Along this, as you have seen in the demo, we have been very, very active over the last few months and whipping up some really cool features which will help you accelerate your DevOps journey. Over the past year, me and my team have got the opportunity to interact with many of our customers and communities. These interactions have been immensely helpful in learning about how chef products are used, what are the pain points, and how the changes in technology and industry is impacting your business and work. These learnings have had an immense role in creating our path ahead. Talking about the path ahead, our roadmap is inspired by your needs and trends in DevSecOps space. Let me spend a few minutes going over some of the areas of focus that our product and engineering teams will be putting on in the next few months. The first area of focus is compliance and security. As organizations move more and more workload towards cloud environment, the need to accelerate the automation of security and compliance has accelerated. And also, there is increased awareness to codify the organization level policy to secure their multi-cloud and hybrid cloud infrastructures. Consequently, our roadmap is reflective of such trends. We continue to improve the policy of code capabilities that we launched earlier this year. We will increase the coverage of premium content and also bring in more and more cloud resource content as well. But our main focus or an additional focus this year is going to be around cloud security posture management. This is, we recognize that content alone is not sufficient. So you will hear from Sharon more about visibility, actionable insights, and ability to manage risks in your journey of cloud security posture management. We are also seeing more and more compute and workloads moving towards Kubernetes and container ecosystem. And this comes because of the ease of use and also portability across cloud environments. We have got multiple feedbacks from our customers to increase our product coverage in this area. We have taken that feedback, and this year we will be launching ability to manage security posture within container and Kubernetes platform. I'm very excited about all of these compliance and security initiatives. Sharon is going to join us shortly, who leads the product management for compliance and security. He's going to give you a lot more details on what to expect in this space. Let's move on to the unified experience. Like Sudhir mentioned, we launched Automate. We started bundling all of the chef tools within Automate, which gave the ability to not just easy installation and updates, but also ability to use Automate as a control panel for all of chef products. We will continue investing in building a centralized management experience around Chef Automate in continuation with that journey. We also recognize that chef products are used to manage highly business critical, mission critical infrastructure on your cloud network. And it's important to have such software be scalable and reliable. We are launching Automate HA version, which will help deploy Automate and dependent components in a highly available configuration across multiple cloud platforms. Similarly, similar to ability of launching compliance scan without installing agents, we will be working on providing configuration management without installing agents, that is remotely. I'm not going to spill all the details or talk all the details on this. I'll let Trevor from product team, who leads infrastructure and application delivery, come in and talk more about what is cooking on the unified experience space. The last area of focus is something that I am very passionate about. That is to make our products easy to use and adopt. Our teams have been working on this across the product in several teams, looking at getting started experience, looking at documentation, updating our learn.chef.io, and many other aspects. But today, I want to bring your attention to some of the big initiatives that we are launching in this area. One of them is making our products available in marketplace. This brings two advantages. One of them, and the first one there, is to make our products easy to install, try, and use before you purchase with just a few clicks. The second one, when you need to purchase or renew the product, you have flexibility in completing the transaction in many ways, including tapping into your enterprise discount plan spend as well. Last but not least, I am really thrilled to talk about the Sas platform that we are working on. This is not just focusing on making products easy to access, but in fact, easy to use as well, reducing the time to value overall. We have launched a beta program and asking for up to 5 early adopters to help shape the roadmap of our SaaS platform. I have Sudhir Reddy, who leads product management for Chef Cloud and Desktop, joining to share more insights onto what's going on in making our products easy to use. With that, let me invite Sharon to the stage. Sharon, all yours.
Sure. Thank you, Prashanth, for a great overview on our key focus areas ahead. Hi, everyone. My name is Sharon Reichert. I'm part of the product management group at Progress. I'm leading the Chef Compliance unit, and today I'm really excited to share some of our key future thoughts and priorities in terms of security and compliance area. To start with, let's look at some of the enhancements we are planning to do in terms of policy as code. As Sudhir mentioned earlier, policy as code is basically the whole idea of writing code in a high-level language so that you can manage and automate your policies. It's basically the codification of the policies. So with policy as code, you bring in the best practices from your operations team, you can bring in the best practices from your security team, as well as from your compliance team. All these together as a code in a single pipeline and workflow, and then you can actually take it into production. Using Chef Workstation and Chef Inspect, you'll be able to create and test these policies, and you can enforce them into your state machines with Chef Infra Server and client. Policy as code really enables you to have that repeatable and versionable framework for your policies, something which is not possible in case of a user interface-based approach. In terms of some of the enhancements we are looking at policy as code, you'll be able to customize your intervals of how often you want to run your policy as code checks. Because within Chef, you do not want to have the policy as code checks to be run on every Chef Infra client run. You'll also be able to have a more end-to-end flow now. You can view your system state on Chef Automate. And finally, you can also expand policy as code into your cloud resource packs. As Prashanth mentioned, one of the key building blocks to achieve policy as code or to achieve compliance as code is our premium content. Today, we have extensive set of CI certified as well as STIG reference premium content for a wide range of target systems, ranging from operating systems to database systems and applications, both for audit as well as for remediation. In addition, we also support cloud resource packs for more than 300 resources across AWS, GCP, as well as Azure. These resource packs have in fact been used to write custom audit books. For example, one of our customers from pharma industry leveraged these resource packs to achieve their GxP compliance, a very well-established compliance standard in the pharma sector. We are looking to add more content in terms of both CIs as well as STIG. We are looking to add content for newer versions of operating system, newer versions of databases, newer versions of applications. We'll introduce newer benchmarks like PCI and HIPAA. We may also introduce some of the newer cloud resource packs based on customer feedback and requests. Not only do we want to add content, but our focus will also be to really keep this content updated based on the latest benchmark specifications, so you get the latest updated content for your organizations. CSPM or Cloud Security Posture Management basically involves leveraging these cloud resource packs to scan your misconfigurations in the cloud. SAP, one of our biggest consumers of Inspect Cloud Resource Packs with 9,500 active cloud accounts, and over 11 million cloud resources, they've been really using Inspect Cloud Resource Packs for the CSPM use case. In terms of expanding our CSPM capabilities, we really want to make it easier for you to have an end-to-end user journey. You can configure your misconfiguration checks through an advanced user interface. You can build baseline from the best practices and benchmarks. And you can also have the config drifts categorized or classified based on the risk level. We're also looking at integrating with some of the cloud native audit tools like Microsoft Azure Policy. Finally, one of our key focus area will also be the container or Kubernetes security space. Containers consume very fewer resources. As Prashanth mentioned, there's a natural transition among many of our customers into the container space, but security continues to be a major hindrance for container adoption. With Chef, you'll be able to manage the compliance of your Docker and Kubernetes environment through CIS benchmarks. But in the future, you'll also be able to get support for some of the additional CIS benchmarks. And you'll also be able to perform some of the misconfiguration and system hardening aspect on your container images as well. Like, for example, you can check for access privileges, or you can also look for some of the inappropriate accesses. Finally, through visibility, you'll also be able to get a comprehensive understanding of all of your container environment. So that's pretty much from my end. Thank you, everyone. And I hand over to Trevor to talk to you about our unified experiences. Trevor, all yours, please.
Hi, I'm Trevor Hess, a product manager here at Chef. I oversee our infrastructure management, application delivery, and partner integrations. I'm going to talk today about what we're doing in the land of unified experiences. So this is a path that we went down a few years ago. We started going and bringing things into Chef Automate, as well as sort of combining some of our other tooling. So this journey began when we started bringing compliance into Automate and some of our infrastructure management capabilities. And we also brought things like Workstation together with all of our foundational tooling needed to develop the content that you're delivering across your fleet. All of this was done through feedback that we got from our enterprise customers and our community members. One of the most highly requested features that has come from that community and from our customers is the ability to deploy Automate in a highly available manner. As enterprise requirements get larger and more complex, as systems get more complex and harder to manage, the need for reliability and scalability across the tools that we use to manage our fleet grows as well. So we are currently developing the capability to deploy Automate in a highly available manner, among a few other Automate deployment mechanisms that we're working on. Next, going down that idea of bringing things together in Automate, we're really focusing on making Automate a centralized management experience for all of the different capabilities that you get from leveraging our offerings at Chef. So whether you're using infrastructure management, compliance, application delivery, desktop, all of that you should be able to manage from inside of Automate. And one of the major steps that we've been taking to make that a reality is bringing some of the last capabilities left in our old Manage portal into Automate so that you can manage your infrastructure like you did in Manage inside of Automate directly, closing the loop on pulling all of these tools together so you can deploy Automate, have your Chef server, your Builder server, all of those capabilities, including those management capabilities, all in one place so that you don't need to manage all these different deployments. It makes using Chef so much easier. And along those lines, one of the other really awesome things that we're working on, as we've watched the industry continue to evolve, the need to actually deploy resources that actually are running a specific operating system that you need to install an agent on has decreased immensely. There are so many more things in the world that you can manage through APIs or other means that you just can't put an agent onto. So to make that easier for you to manage the configuration of those systems and the security of those systems, we're working on developing a way to manage your resource without the need to install an agent like a Chef client. so that you can take those things that you need to manage the configuration of and do it in the same easy way that you've always done it with your Chef tooling in the past. This will help make it so much easier to manage everything across your wide array of fleets, whether those are the traditional virtual machines and physical machines, all the way to network devices or cloud resources that dominate the world we live in today. And with that, let's talk a little bit more about some of the new ways that we're looking at how you can deploy and manage your Automate instances and other components that make up the capabilities that you get from our software. For that, I'm going to pass things over to Nishal. Nishal, you want to take it away?
Thank you, Trevor. Hello, everyone. My name is Nishal Reddy. I work as a product manager at Chef, and I lead Chef SaaS and desktop products. It's really exciting to be speaking in front of this vibrant Chef community today. And I'll be talking about simplifying product adoption and usage. So we got requests from multiple customers to provide flexible deployment options and also a better way to access Chef products in a cohesive way. So we are working on the following initiatives to make your product usage and adoption much more easier. The first initiative is Managed Service Offering. You might have heard about this in yesterday's keynote event. Chef Managed Service is a new offering that will help you get access to a team of experts at Chef who can come in, do the installation, management, upgrading your Chef infrastructure for you. It's a great fit for customers who want to adopt or increase the Chef footprint, but lack administrative skills or lack time to manage Chef implementation or don't have required operational expertise. So if you fit into any of this criteria, we are here to help. Managed Services is available today. You can leverage it to accelerate your product adoption. And the next initiative that we are working on is to provide more flexible deployment options. To do this, we have made Chef products available through cloud marketplaces. Marketplaces will facilitate easier deployments with just a few clicks. And it also helps in faster procurement. It is especially very convenient for organizations who are enrolled into enterprise discount programs. This will help you tap into your existing enterprise cloud budgets or spends and cut short the whole procurement cycle. Currently, we support Azure and AWS marketplaces. So you have flexibility to bring your own license. And we're also working on making it transactable through these marketplaces. It will be available pretty soon. You can also try it out on Azure Test Drive today. And like I said, currently we support AWS and Azure. In fact, Chef images are already available on both the marketplaces. So give it a try today and let us know your feedback. And finally, we have a huge focus on SaaS going forward. Specifically with increasing trends in adoption of cloud and SaaS platforms, we had requests from a lot of customers asking for a better way to access Chef products through a single cohesive platform. So we've started working on this initiative to build a SaaS platform that will let you get access to not just the current products, but also any products and features that we will launch in the future. The advantage of using SaaS platform would include zero maintenance. It's super easy to deploy, staying always on the latest version. You'll also get access to the latest features and products as they are available. And finally, it is fully supported and maintained by Chef. So this will help you focus on what matters most for your business and leave all the heavy lifting to us. And Chef SaaS is currently in beta phase, and we are looking for early adopters. And we have also launched a beta program for you. By joining this beta program, you'll get access to early builds for the SaaS product before anyone else. You'll also get access to product team with whom you can share direct feedback and help us build a product that will make you successful. And finally, it is a very low risk engagement where the only investment that you would be making is your time to share feedback. In return, you'll get access to SaaS environment that you can either try or use it as a test or staging instance. And we are open for registrations. So we already have few customers lined up, but we still have 5 slots available. So if you are interested, if this is something that you think will help you, do reach out to either your customer success manager or your account executive, and then they can help you get more details about the beta program, and also will help you get access to the product. So looking forward to talking to you. So with that, I will hand it back to Prashanth. Thank you.
Thanks, Nishal, Trevor, and Sharon for giving insights onto all the exciting things that we are going to be working on in the coming months and year. Hopefully you all are as excited as we are at Chef team about the roadmap. All of your feedback has not just helped us in identifying the areas of focus, but also helping prioritizing them. Like we said, we have a lot of initiatives and launches coming up. Cloud security posture management, container and Kubernetes security, configuration management without installing agent, marketplace, SaaS incentives, and many more. We would love to work with you all in a continuous and iterative manner, and looking forward to feedback from you all to make sure the products that we build are easy to use and adopt. With that, I would like to thank you all for joining us today and to hear out what all we have been working on, and also share our excitement on our roadmap. Thank you. And Sudhir, back to you.
Thanks, Prashanth. That was a whole lot of stuff that we're working on for the next year, and everybody stay tuned. Keep tuned to the news that's coming out. We will keep releasing these as they become ready. Okay, we have a really good question and answer session coming up, but before we go there, there's one other extremely important thing for me to do, and that is to announce our Awesome Chef Awards. I have the privilege of doing that, and the Awesome Chef Awards, for those of you who don't know, are awards that we've been doing since 2013 every year, and this is really a community recognition. These are people that get awards based on nominations and recommendations from all of you out there in the community, among our customer base. And these nominations can be either themselves, you can nominate yourself, or you can nominate other people that are both inside of Chef or outside of Chef and Progress and all that. Based on that, we have 3 amazing winners this year. And I'm going to go through each one of them briefly here, and please, when you see them around or when you talk to them or anywhere, say congratulations to them. First up is Jeff Bremmager. Jeff's been with us for a while. Jeff is in our professional services organization, and he is an extremely good community contributor. So if you go look at his GitHub contributions, there's, I don't know how many contributions he has. But more importantly, he also helps out everybody that I know of, right? Anybody that needs help and they go, hey, Jeff, can you help with me? He both has the knowledge and the willingness to go and do the things that they ask him to do and things. And this is both internally as well as with the external community. He has helped my team, the engineering team, quite a bit as well in places where we needed help from him, and we call on him, and he's more than willing and happy to come and do that. So with that, congratulations, Jeff. Really happy to see both that you've been nominated and that you won. Next, I want to go to one of our sous chef contributors. For those of you who don't know, sous chef is an organization that's external to Chef, and a lot of people from sous chef contribute into our recipes and our cookbooks and all of that. And Ben Hughes is a huge part of sous chef. It was Ben that helped a lot with our Chef 17 release this last year, as well as with the Vault cookbook. That's a gnarly cookbook that's out there. And Ben has been instrumental in making sure that that works right, and got a whole bunch of fixes in with that and all that. And he spent countless hours just maintaining all of the cookbooks and recipes out there and helping us get to Chef 17. Congratulations, Ben. And thank you for all the great work you've been doing. And finally, but not the least, we have Lamont Grenquist, our own Lamont Grenquist, who is on the Chef Infra client team. And he's been working tirelessly on making sure that the Chef Infra client does all the things that you all look to do. When we talked about making announcements on policy as code and bringing all of that work together, when we talk about all the performance improvements in the Chef client, etc., a lot of that is Lamont's work. And he also helps out the community a lot, helps out wherever people have. And the biggest challenging thing we had with Lamont, by the way, was finding a picture of his that we could put on slides. Just a little aside, it's hard to find Lamont's pictures. Awesome. Congratulations, Lamont. So to close off, Jeff, Ben, and Lamont, thank you for all the great things you've done. You're amazing contributors into Chef, and thank you. By the way, the list of all of our past awesome Chef awards, etc., is on our GitHub in the Chef organization. If you go to GitHub, you'll find all of the old ones, including from 2013, all the people that have won. Thank you, everyone. And with that, what we're going to do is roll into our question and answer session. Please join me, Yogesh, our CEO, Sundar, the general manager for the Chef business, as well as Prashanth, who you just saw talking, in our live Q&A session going here. Thank you, and have a great rest of ChefConf.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. And welcome to all of the great people that Sudhir just introduced. I'm super excited for this part because this part is actually live. We're actually all here. And if you've got questions, you can drop in the platform chat, or if you've got questions and you're not in the platform, you can drop them in Slack, and we'll grab them from there. I think we're going to start with one for you, Yogesh, as part of progress. What do you expect from Chef? How are you measuring Chef's success?
So, Benny, it's wonderful to be here. As you said, live. I mean, we were live on the video last time, but live this time. So, yeah. So I think that's a really important question, right? I measure Chef success based on how successful we are in addressing the needs of our customers and of the market and of the community, right? We need to make sure that the product continues to do better and better, that we continue to innovate, that we continue to listen to the community, and which includes our enterprise customers as well as the open source community and all the practitioners who are unbelievable at what they do, and make sure that we understand their pain, make sure that we understand what they need to address going forward, and solve those things, address those things. And by doing that, make it into a stronger, bigger business with greater adoption around the globe. So I think, to me, it's really, pretty much, if you solve the right problems for the world comes to you, right? And we are very much focused on that. I want to make sure that we continue to stay focused on that. What Prashanth was saying just in this past session, and Sudhir was talking about, how we're going about figuring out what we want to do next is all about that. And then delivering on it, and then going out and, by the way, talking about it and getting others to know about it so that they can actually take advantage of it and expanding the overall community. I'd love to see that happen.
Yeah, agreed. Actually, speaking about the things we were just talking about, maybe Sudhir, you can maybe take this one, or Sundar, the SaaS product we were talking about. Why SaaS? Why now? How did we get there?
Awesome. Thanks, Benny. I'll take that one, Sudhir, and you can expand a little bit maybe. So we did a bunch of conversations with our customer base, our others, the community, the users. And what we saw was Chef is seen as a platform in many users and eyes, and they want to do a lot more from Chef. But they also want to get value faster from Chef, right? They want to be up and running. They want to manage their assets. They want to secure their infrastructure as quickly as possible. And they want to try Chef and basically to accelerate the time to value and the value that our users and customers get. One of the distribution means is actually to make available Chef as a SaaS distribution channel. And as you have heard from Sudhir and Prashanth earlier, we are getting Automate into a centralized dashboard through which you can control all of your Chef use cases and workflows. And one of the first things we are doing is to make available Automate as a SaaS offering very soon. And that we hope gives us the ability to make available Chef on the cloud so that customers don't have to worry about installation, updates, upgrades, things like that, right? We take care of all that. We'll also start offering trials on that so that users can try the software, see the value of it, and then decide to use that. we'll also start making some other things available, something like a managed services model where you can use our team's expertise and bandwidth, and if you want to basically leverage on top of that and force multiply so that your team is focusing on the problems that you are solving for, and Chef kind of is done fully through the managed services team. So that is another thing that's going to be available. So that is the main motivator for SaaS. We heard from our users, from our customers, that we need to figure out a way to get value faster. We need to make sure that a lot of background work that needs to be done in updating, automating, making sure that the premium content is made available. All of those features we are kind of packaging on the Sas Distribution channel.
Yeah, and I'll add to that too, Sundar. Thank you for that. First of all, I want to say, I tried so hard to make myself look exactly the same as the last session, and you all went and destroyed that. So thank you for that. Anyway, you totally nailed the reason for SaaS, and this has been an evolution and has become a revolution in the past few months and quarters, is really what our customers are looking for is that time to value and ease of use. They want to be able to sign in, put their credit card number in, and point us to their nodes and say, here are the things I want to do with those nodes. And off we go and do that, right? So it's making that vision a reality. SaaS is the best tool we have to make that happen. So that's where we're going.
Awesome. Yeah, it's the engagement that we've had with our customers has been really cool. Prashanth, actually, one of the questions we've gotten is how do I, as a customer, come to you with ideas? How do I share feedback? What's the best way to access people?
Yeah, thanks, Benny, and thanks everyone for joining us and also giving us an opportunity to share some of the things that we will be working on this year. And this question is kind of appropriate or segue to the our roadmap session because most of what we have decided to do in the next year or so is very, very much driven by customer feedback. And this feedback doesn't just directly come from customers always. Obviously, that is something that we strive for, and we have started meeting many of you as much as possible, at least on a quarterly basis or even frequently possible, where we want to share our roadmap and hear out if that aligns with your organization needs, or if there is any specific thing which we think we need to tweak to make it better. That is one channel. And another way, through that channel, we had got a lot of input, especially around multi-cloud journey, hybrid cloud journey, and also increased focus on Kubernetes, where our products can help you all in that journey. So that is one way we get a lot of feedback. And second is through our customer-facing teams, our solution architects, customer architects, our customer success managers, our account managers, sales reps, all of them talk to you every day. And believe me, they bring those conversations back to me and my team, and we record them. We keep track of those things. And we have a system of record called AHA, that is the tool, but through that we have a process called IDEA, through which all of you can submit these ideas, and these are tracked publicly. And we use similar tools, similar framework for ideas that get posted on behalf of our customers and users through all of our customer-facing teams. So this is another source in which you can submit ideas and we will take it. And Benny, I think the second question was how can they reach us? I think there are 2-3 means. Through your account managers, if you are our customers, obviously, our success manager, that is one way. And another is we hang out on community Slack as well, and if required on Success Slack too. So community Slack is another good place where you can tag us. I must admit, we were not so active over the past few months, but in the last couple of months, we have started being more and more active, and all of us can be accessible there as well. And of course, if you want to know more about any of the topics that we did and want to give any specific feedback, me and my team are available for a focused conversation too.
Yeah.
I'll pause and see if there is any other follow-up on that, Benny.
Yeah, the only thing I want to add is the community roadmap, the like every 6-week community webinars where we're reaching out, showing roadmap plans, showing product plans, that kind of stuff. We're getting a very short feedback cycle from those. So those are good for folks to reach too. We always talk about them in the community meetings that happen in our community Slack. And if you miss them there, they're also talked about in the newsletter that we send out every month. So keep an eye out for that. But shameless plug done now. Sudhir, one of the things you mentioned today was that we're really investing in the engineering team. What does that look like long-term for you? How does that unfold?
Yeah, that's a great question, Benny. And some of the things that we're doing, first off, I want to state the fact that the engineering team, as some of the other teams in Chef, has actually grown with Progress, right? We've actually grown in numbers and we've grown in capacity, not just with the engineers we hire in, but also how we work with our contract partners and how much resource we bring into the organization to do that. And there's two broad areas I want to call out that we've been able to invest more now than we used to in the past. One is with just pure R&D, being able to put more gas into that, getting more the SaaS side of things. The fact that we're now in beta and we went so fast from not having a thing to having a beta, that's all thanks to the additional resources and the additional humans that would come and help us with doing that. The second side of things are Chef being what we were, a startup and trying to grow really fast. We couldn't invest in some of the things that we needed to invest when we knew that, but we needed to also grow. So we couldn't invest in things like Test Kitchen and things like that. And you see that just now with the announcements we've made so many enhancements to that kit and to those things. So I think it's those two broad categories of just R&D and innovation for our customers, and going back to what Yogesh was saying earlier, as well as being able to invest in some of our more sustaining efforts or growing some of the things that we couldn't pay attention to in the past. I think those are two broad categories. And as additional product ideas or offering ideas come our way, such as the desktop one that we announced last year, if there's additional things, we're now capable of putting more resources on that, having more people work on it, and bring out products for our customers much faster.
Very cool. Very cool. You guys,
if I may add one small detail to that.
Absolutely.
Again, maybe a plug, but still, I'll go ahead. I think we also have looked, while we were looking at it, we also looked at product management to engineering coverage. And that is also an area which we intentionally increased the coverage. So we have more product managers than before, and there is dedicated focus on each of the areas where we are getting customer feedback. And that has been one of the reasons why we are able to actually churn out some of the new initiatives and being bullish about some more that we are working on.
Very cool. Yeah, the question I was about to ask you, Yogesh, one of the questions we have is around long-term strategy for Progress. Entering the DevOps space was obviously new. We talked about that yesterday, but what are the next steps for Progress in the DevOps space, if there are any?
So, in very broad terms, right? So let's be clear, right? As a public company, you can't talk about your next acquisition until you're actually done with it, right? So without sort of talking specifics, the reality is that we recognize that this is a very large ecosystem. There are tremendous opportunities for us to continue to build out capabilities. What we can internally, we will do internally. What we can't do internally, and where we see opportunity to find assets outside that are complementary and can help us accelerate our offerings and can integrate well with Chef, would love to pick those up externally as well. Stepping a step back at the Progress level rather than at the Chef level, right? We have always been, we're a 40-year-old company, and we've always had this focus around helping people who are really involved in getting their business mission critical applications built, deployed, and run. right? That's what they have wanted to do, and that's what we have helped them do. Now, 40 years ago, that problem was very simplistic and very different. So it was all about having a relational database and a language to work with it, and that was about it. Later on, things came along such as app servers, so we built one of those. That was like, how do I access data from other places? So we added that. Hey, how do I make UIs much better? So we basically created and added our Telerik portfolio of products, which provides wonderful front-end UI stuff. Okay, now let's, so we've done a lot of stuff around that. And then we say, how do we get into, the manage aspect and deploy aspect? And that's how we ended up with things like WhatsUp Gold and those kind of products for management and Chef for DevOps as our first step in DevOps. So I think, to me, it is the whole cycle, right? The big cycle, not, the real infinite loop that I'm sure people have seen bazillions of times and don't want to see ever again, right? But it is that whole cycle of how do you design, create, and deploy and manage and run and operate and be secure and be reliable, right? So that the business functions and people who are doing the job of IT operations and IT SecOps and NetOps and so on can basically do the things they need to do while still have time to sleep. Yes. Our job is to make their lives better. Our job is to make their lives easier. So I don't have a specific, let's do this next. Sure. I'll look to this team and I'll look to the audience to basically tell us what are areas that maybe we ought to tackle next. But overall, from our perspective, we want to continue to build out a bigger and broader portfolio around this problem set. And the problem set itself will evolve, right? I mean, 5 or 10 years ago, nobody was talking about Kubernetes. Nobody was talking about, a SaaS offering as much. Now today, everybody is. So I think we should also realize that just, you have to run fast to stay in the same place, let alone, get ahead and expand. So,
Yep. Yeah. Sundar, kind of tangential to that, one of the questions we're seeing is, what challenges do we anticipate for Chef this morning, or like in the next year, right? What does that look like?
Sure, and I'll take a step back before I get into the nuances of that question, I would say. So for example, a lot of our work we do in Chef is broadly in two different pillars, right? There is infrastructure management and then there is compliance. Both of these are interrelated to each other, but at the same time, we can advance on them independently as well. For example, if you find out some misconfiguration on the cloud and things like that, if you want to remediate that, the action to remediate that actually happens through infrastructure management. And so these are very tightly interrelated. And the challenges and the things that we are going to do in Chef in a go-forward way are at the junction of these two spaces. And from what we hear from our customers, I think one thing is very clear, that cloud security is the big challenge that we have today in front of us. People talk about it differently. They talk about cloud security, they talk about cyber security, they talk about a bunch of different areas. But if you look at cloud security, the problems are more complex because firstly, it is a very distributed kind of an infrastructure. There are multiple teams who are creating infrastructure. They are setting up accounts. They are using it. They are making things available to the outside world. And also it is constantly changing, right? What you have as a container today, the state of that container can change. If you have a development system like that, you may also say it's an immutable infrastructure. So when a drift happens, I may blow out that container and put in a new one. And so because of the distributed nature and the constant changing part of cloud infrastructure, the challenges get magnified, right? So one way to look at this is to have a continuous monitoring and automated remediation piece. That is maybe the only way to have a viable long-term cloud security solution, and that is kind of coalescing now around cloud security posture management, and analysts and others are defining it more clearly today, and we see that, right? A lot of our customers are both on-prem and cloud. The cloud adoption is growing really fast. People are using multi-cloud. So at the most basic level, for example, they need visibility of multi-cloud. They need to know where the misconfigurations are happening. an S3 bucket which is unlocked is really dangerous today, right? And so first is to make sure that we can continuously monitor. We can look at the misconfigurations which introduce vulnerabilities, making it available visually and in an actionable manner, which can be done in an automated way is the first thing. The second is the automated remediation piece, right? We need to make sure that it is not only automated in remediation, but also inform the right people at the right time. Sometimes you need leeway in saying that, okay, this piece can be unremediated for 3 more days till we understand and analyze the problem, or things like that. So automated remediation with the ability for a human to bring the judgment that a human can bring with experience and expertise is the second piece. And the third piece is, of course, leveraging pre-built compliance templates, either from the premium content that we bring in or our work that we do with the CIS benchmarks through the CIS Foundation or other standards bodies like SOC, PCI DSS, and NIST and others. And applying those security templates on the cloud assets and seeing where the drift is happening, where vulnerabilities are getting exposed, how to remediate that, either automated or manual. Those are some areas which I believe are the things that we are focusing on now. You will see some results of that soon.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of work going into that, and it's really it's always interesting to me to hear, especially you talk about where we're challenged and where we're going, and like where the industry is going, that kind of stuff. I'm going to shift a little bit hard right now. Yesterday, in the first keynote, we talked to a couple of community members, Brittany and Lance, about how externally it looks like we're doing, and how the shifts over the last almost year have changed what the outside of Chef looks like and how we interact with our external community specifically. Prashanth and Sudhir, I don't know which one of you want to take this, but one of the things they talked about was how exciting it was to see us adding resources around the things that haven't had much attention in a while. Test Kitchen is the one that keeps coming to mind, but what other places are we going to add resources there? What other plans do we have to expand around that? I know one of the other things they mentioned, Lance specifically mentioned, that it was nice to see Habitat starting to get power behind it again. So where's all of that coming from, and where's that going?
Yeah, I can take a stab at that. And Prashanth, you can add to that. Those are some of the areas that we've actually focused on, right? Test Kitchen and things that are visible to our customers and to our community. There's other areas that are not quite as visible that we're also starting to add more resources into, such as our pipelines. If you look at our pipelines for the number of systems we support and what we need to put software out for, with esoteric platforms and all of that, we're putting more energy into making sure that we build those in a more consistent way, and we're able to do our builds in a much better way and faster way and things. You'd also see things like the Chef server team be able to release software faster than they ever used to in the past. And those are really cool things that are sometimes not noticed as much, but there's still energy going into that and making that happen. So there are those things. There's also the side of, so one thing I also want to acknowledge is that as we went through the acquisition and the first few months of the acquisition, we're actually, we lost a lot of talent. We lost a lot of the institutional knowledge that we used to have. And we have built that up over time, and it has taken us a minute to get there. But I see the team starting to run now from just crawling, right? And that's a huge thing. And you'll see more and more of that happen. In terms of, we find an area that we feel like needs attention, we go and do that, and we add resources into that. So you'll see that. Prashanth, I don't know if you had more to add to that.
Let me kind of give a slightly different perspective on that. All those things are true, and we are making sure that whatever is important for our users is made available more often, but also we looked at some of the things that we didn't bring parity in the past. I think one of that was managing chef infrastructure or chef infra server through Automate. And as you have noticed, over at least last 6 months, we have been working really hard and also continuously to bring all the capabilities or almost all the capabilities into Chef Automate. So this means that customers who are using Chef Backend, Chef Manage, now they have something which is on the latest, and not just they can do everything that they could do in Chef Manage and Backend, but they also have access to more like compliance and app delivery. And another thing, similar thing is on the marketplace. We had a few things that were in the marketplace. We had got feedback that we would like to see frequent updates. We wanted to, also there were a few libraries that were committed to Azure and AWS where there was not much of activity. So we got that feedback. That is another area also where we relisted on AWS and Azure Marketplace. We will continue focusing on that. That way, you have flexibility in deployment. So I think most of it was driven by feedback and community and customers reaching out to us and telling that, hey, I think this needs a little bit more attention. This needs a little bit more TLC. I think we have taken that, and some places we have put laser focus and pushed it hard, and some places we will be giving that love through the year.
Awesome. Yeah, it's.
And Ben, if I can take a minute and talk about something which we don't talk about a lot. We talk typically about product engineering outcomes and what these teams are doing. But to be fair, your team and other folks in your team and other places are also helping the users and community in an amazing way through a whole bunch of meetings, webinars, Twitch streams that are happening. I was just looking at the Chef channel on YouTube, and I see in the last 2 months or so, I think there are almost 30 to 35 videos that are available there. Great content, and then the spectrum of I think people is also interesting, right? There is content for I think a chef newbie like me. There is intermediate and advanced content as well. There is content explaining how to use Chef. There is content explaining how to achieve something through some particular steps and things like that. And I just wanted to also thank and appreciate all the people who have been part of that kind of meetings. I think more than 4,000 to 5,000 people have attended those meetings, and thanks for that engagement and interest in what is being done here.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity for a shameless plug. Twitch.com/chefsoftware. We're there every Tuesday and Thursday, except for this week, obviously. And it's a really good call out because the DevRel team has done a whole bunch of work finding ways to connect with people outside of our normal, like go to a conference, right? Because we're not going to conferences. So it's been a lot of fun to reimagine what DevRel looks like in a COVID area. I think we're getting close to our time limit. Is there anything that you guys wanted to talk about that you didn't get a chance to? Should we go around? Yogesh, do you want to? Oh, Sudhir wants to start.
Yeah, I have a thing. I realized that when I said a certain thing, I made some implicit assumptions, and I want to make it explicit, right? When I said that we went through the turmoil in the first 3 quarters and things, implicitly I was thinking of the entire Chef organization, right? This included the customer-facing teams, sales and pre-sales and customer architects, and all of those teams have to some extent rebuilt and are starting to run. So I want to give a shout out to everyone and make that explicit
awesome.
in what I said there.
I think that's really important. It's a really important call out because it was everyone, right? So
yeah, and I'd like to add my thanks, right? I mean, I really do think that the team has done a phenomenal job of coming together. You know, and it has been a real challenging year. right? And the fact that we are where we are and that we have done as well as we have as a team is really a testament to the team. And by the way, I know this may sound hokey, but it's also a testament to the support from our customers and community, right? Because what happens is that when you get that support, you get motivated, you get pumped up to do things and get excited and engage, right? Yeah. And I think that's that is often not acknowledged as an integral part of the team doing well, right? Mm-hmm. The team does well because the ecosystem around it is excited, positive for it, rooting for it, and helping it succeed. And so I really want to thank everyone for that, right? And it is really, really wonderful to see the progress, and the level of execution has steadily gotten better and better and better. And I think that is really heartening as well.
Yeah, agreed. Anybody else have final words that they want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I've chatted with some of you in one-on-one conversations or in customer conversations or with users in the community channels. I know that in the initial days, there was some anxiousness, but after a lot of these conversations, as well as when you see where we are headed and what kind of decisions we have taken and how we are working out, I feel the engagement and the tone and tenor has gotten much better. At the same time, we hear input on things that we should maybe look at. One of the things we heard very clearly is around making sure that the Kubernetes workloads are managed, secured, and what we can do on Chef in that direction. I think you might have heard earlier session with Sudhir, Prashanth, and Sharon talk through some details there. That's an angle that is important to us. And keep this feedback on for us. I think a lot of our thoughts come through these conversations and feedback that we get. And this is the most critical input we have in deciding what steps to take in a go forward way. So I really enjoy these conversations, meetings, and things like ChefConf, which are energizing to me. And thanks a lot for everybody who participated and everybody who put this together as well. And I realize for every 1 hour of content, maybe 8 to 9 hours of work happens in the backend. So I just wanted to make sure that we realize and appreciate that. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, and the number of talks this year that involved external people and internal people working together was really fun for me, because it's always like you go to a conference, you build your talk in a vacuum, and then you show up and you deliver it. But this year we really worked together with everybody to make sure that all the speakers felt supported too. So that was really fun. Prashanth?
It is good to see that kind of engagement, you know. Yeah. It's good to see that kind of level of interaction. So.
Yeah. Prashanth, I think you're the only one that hasn't said anything yet.
I want to pick on both, Benny, what you said about our users and customers, community members talking about, and also Sundar's point about Kubernetes. And I think we had a really good session yesterday, which highlighted the power of our platform through which you could actually build out capabilities to secure the new platforms like most adopted platforms like Kubernetes. But also that is something that we have heard and we have been asked, and our focus is going to be expanding that, making it more easier, making it accessible, simpler to provide. And these are some of the advantages of having a vibrant and active customer community base, where they can show that, okay, this is not just required, but it is possible to a great extent. You guys need to focus and invest more in this area.
Yeah, agreed. It's a great example of us taking feedback internally and actually acting on it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that rounds us out. Sudhir, do you have anything else you wanted to add? Are you good?
No, I just want my energy level to keep staying like this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the one way to do that is for us to do this completely live next time. I mean, we were chatting about it. You know, we were just chatting about it before we started, right? Boy, you know, we missed that. I missed it. So hopefully hopefully
we can do it.
Will pass, and next time we can all be together. So
here's to a live ChefConf next year.
That's right. In Boston, I heard, right, Benny?
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. There's still some decisions to be made. We're talking about it. Actually, we'll share a bunch of details tonight in about 5 hours during the conversation with Matt Lyman and I.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So cool.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to let it get out of the bag.
It's all right.
Than needed. So great, wonderful, and have fun with the rest of the sessions.
Yeah, everybody, thanks for coming into the Q&A. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. I know we all did, so it was a great conversation. Stick around for the breakout sessions that start in about 40 minutes, and we'll see you in a little while.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
See you around.
See you.